Coming up on Mountain News this morning, a Kentucky high school student is being called a hero after using quick thinking to save a man's life. And with the help of a special program, retired Kentucky State Police troopers get back into uniform to serve their communities in need.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News this morning.
Good morning, 6:32. It's Thursday, which means it's almost Friday, which means it's almost Saturday. And I'm going to stop before Brandon gets mad at me. So let's go over to Brandon this morning for a look at our forecast. Brandon, it is Friday Eve around here.
Yes, it is. And that is the only Eve, except for Christmas Eve. Gosh. And New Year's Eve. But anyway,
you know what?
Of the only weekly Eve.
I'm not going to argue with you this morning.
Exactly. We're not having that argument today. We're not having that conversation. I'm putting my foot down, Dakota. All right, let's get into this forecast this morning, and we're foggy out there across the region. Be careful, take it slow, take it easy as you're heading out the door this morning. Zero visibility pretty much everywhere. Hazard, Harlan, Middlesboro, Williamsburg, Logan, Prestonsburg, Pikeville. The list just goes on and on and on. Anything less than 5 miles on this map, which also includes Somerset and Wise, also Jacksboro. Just be extra careful out there. It's dense fog if it's less than 5 miles. Temperatures still hanging on. 50s across most of the region, but a couple 60s. Ashland, Jackson, and Manchester still waiting on those to drop this morning. And dew points very, very pleasant. Anything less than 60 is very comfortable, and that's where we're at everywhere this morning. Look at Clintwood at 50 out there right now. Sunshine, 80s later today. It's going to be a very nice day, very less humid. It's just a great day to get outside and do anything. Sit on your porch, cut the grass, wash the car. It's going to be a fantastic day. A little cool this morning. Maybe some light jackets needed for the bus stop. Dakota?
And thank you. Governor Andy Beshear announced plans to bring a reliable water service to parts of Floyd County beginning in just a few weeks. Emily Bennett talked with people with Southern Water and Sewer District who say these projects have been needed for years.
With water lines aging,
the main line was put in the mid-70s.
Reliability has been decreasing for Southern Water and Sewer District customers.
We have a lot of operational issues when we have flooding.
Due to the placement of current lines, crews can't access some water lines that are leaking. So, with the funding in and contract awarded, a new main water line will be put in from Lackey to Wayland along Route 7 in Floyd County.
Anytime we have an issue in this sector, the water flow is this direction, we have to stop the water flow, which impacts Wayland, and they're out of service.
They are relocating the water lines as far away from the creek as possible. This will provide more reliable water service during disasters such as flooding.
I know we're redoing 56 service line connections, but I think in this whole area we actually are impacting 500 service line connections to residences.
And with that project about to begin, another is in the works. Governor Beshear awarding nearly $2 million for a water connector project from Minnie to Route 80.
And we're wanting to tie where the water stops here, go all the way across the mountain, down to the school.
As of now, there's a more than 3-mile stretch without water lines.
This will open up property to people to build new residents because we could provide water.
A 200,000-gallon water storage tank will also be put in to allow the district to pump water to certain areas in case of an emergency.
To ensure a secondary water source for the hospital.
That was Emily Bennett reporting. More than $770,000 were also awarded to the city of Wheelwright to build a new water treatment plant impacting more than 350 homes and 15 businesses. The field of Republicans hoping to unseat Governor Andy Beshear is growing. Wednesday morning, another name was added to the crowded field. Kelly Knight Craft, the former U.S. ambassador to the United Nations, announced she's seeking Kentucky's top office. She joins 3 constitutional office holders, including Mike Harmon, Daniel Cameron, who also launched a new campaign ad yesterday, and Commissioner of Agriculture Ryan Quarles. Kentucky's Democratic Party responded to Knight Craft's announcement, stating in part that Kentuckians want a leader that, quote, lives here and works here and isn't a Matt Bevin, end quote. A Floyd County Circuit Court jury has awarded behavioral therapist Ashley Shepard $2.4 million in damages for wrongful termination. Shepard sued Highlands ARH Regional Medical Center in Prestonsburg. Shepard's attorney Jerry Patton told the Lexington Herald later, quote, justice was served and we are grateful to the jury for recognizing that my client was in the right and had been treated badly at work by the defendant, end quote. We reached out to the hospital for comment. Officials with Kentucky State Police are investigating human remains found in Lee County. Troopers say the Richmond Post received a call Tuesday night of human remains being found in a burned building on Kentucky 52. The Lee County Coroner's Office sent the remains to identification for Frankfurt. As the investigation continues, police ask people with information about the incident to call KSP Post 7. Another person has been arrested after a shooting at a party on the University of Kentucky's campus, bringing the total to 3. The shooting happened late Wednesday night, just before midnight. Police say 2 uninvited people came to the house and at least 1 shot was fired after an argument. A UK spokesperson says 1 student was hit directly and 10 others were hit with shrapnel. UK suspects 2 people that were arrested are not students. All students hurt during the shooting are expected to recover. A teenage girl in Louisville is being called a hero after her quick actions and first aid training saved a man's life. A 16-year-old Ayla Carter was being picked up from school by her dad. She noticed a man that seemed to be in trouble. She saw that he was bleeding and told her dad to pull over so they could help. Using her sweatshirt to make a tourniquet, she stopped the bleeding and kept the man conscious until paramedics arrived. Days after they visited the man in the hospital he was being treated at, he was surprised that she was only 16.
And he remembered her being there, but she had a book bag, so he thought that she was the paramedic. So we had a chance to talk to him and pray with him, and I think that she has a lifelong friend now.
The Carters didn't know it at the time, but police say the man was shot 2.5 miles away. Well, law enforcement agencies across the country are dealing with a similar problem. Staffing shortages now. Some retirees are returning to the job. Kentucky State Police say 2 recent retirees will once again be serving their community. Kelsey Soto has that story.
The Trooper R program allows retired members of state police who retired with at least 20 years of service and haven't been gone longer than 5 years to return and serve their community. And this time around, retirement and other benefits won't be taken out of their check.
It's really nice to have them come back. Just like Captain Server said, the knowledge and experience that they have is irreplaceable. That's 20 plus years of service they've had. So the things that they've learned and everything that they've done throughout those 20 years of service, that carries over.
KSP Post 9 in Pikeville will be welcoming back 2 of their own, Trooper Ronald Pepe and Trooper Sean Little. Both left with the rank of sergeant in 2019 and 2020 respectively. The pair live in Floyd County and are ready to patrol their streets once again.
The recent tragedy in Floyd County and the flooding here in eastern Kentucky, seeing that people are out there and people need help, when you have that calling and you feel like you're that person, it's hard to sit by and not do anything. So that may have played a huge part in them coming back, just wanting to come back out and serve their community because they're still able to.
Post Captain Serber says the 2 will serve as mentors for the newer troopers and fill some much needed manpower back in the community.
Yeah, these were guys that, when I first started state police, they were here, and you kind of looked up to them then. And just to be able to see them come back and to be able to use that knowledge and go for them for guidance, it's a good feeling to know that you're in good hands when you're talking to them.
In Pikeville, Kelsey Soto, WKYT.
The 2 troopers are already out patrolling the streets.
.640 here on this Friday Eve, Thursday morning, and again, the name of the game, fog. And there's a lot of it out there this morning. 0 visibility basically anywhere or everywhere this morning. No dense fog advisory, although we're kind of meeting the criteria for that right now, but probably too late in the morning for the Weather Service to pull the trigger on that. But again, be extra careful in many areas as you're heading out, especially if you're in the southeast and western Virginia counties there, East Tennessee. It's just basically a long stretch of that. Corbin, I-75, the camera down there fogged over, so just continue to be careful. 57 there, 57 at London, 57 in Hazard, 58 in Urban, 55 Clintwood, Wise, and Jonesville, also Williamsburg, 60 in Manchester, Jackson, and Ashland. Your out-the-door forecast features fog this morning, which we might take a little bit of time to get out of here, and then temperatures very comfortable this afternoon, right around 80 degrees, as we see a lot of sunshine this afternoon. Dakota?
Alrighty, Brandon, thank you so much. When we come back here on Mountain News this morning, a requirement in the Affordable Care Act gets struck down by a judge in Texas after a group of employers challenged the mandates that come with it. Stay with us.